What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Thursday night's late night agenda. Now, look, there will be a Newcastle preview video coming up a little bit later on. It may even be out tomorrow morning, but it is recorded. It is all ready to go. So do keep an eye on your notifications because I'm not sure exactly when Connor's going to put it out, but it'll be coming out soon enough. But I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about the ownership situation again at Liverpool Football Club because over the past 48, 72 hours, this has taken another twist and it's kind of becoming a little bit clearer that the spin machine is in full effect. And if you don't know what I mean by that, stick with me for the next 7 or 8 minutes and I'll do my best to explain it. So let's start off with a post today that most probably caught your attention, my attention, and lots of other people's attention. The account at Qatari. Now, this was a gentleman who spoke previously about Qatar's interest in buying Liverpool. He put out a post today on Twitter that said, after the intransigence of Liverpool's owners and their refusal to give up a percentage exceeding 49%, which would be a controlling stake over 49%, in which decision-making takes place, the compass changed completely for Manchester United. Very simple steps to announce the acquisition of United. Basically, how I take that is that FSG just weren't playing ball and were looking for somebody to come in, fund this rebuild while they keep a controlling stake of the club. I don't know where to go with it. Honestly, I'm trying my best not to really lose the rag right now because everything is exactly as we expected with regards to the spin. So what's happened? The window's closed, so they've gotten through the January transfer window without bringing in a midfielder, right? And it's important that I bring this up because people are going to say, Craig signed Cody Gakpo, yada, yada, yada. Very true, but we need midfielders. I think we can all agree on that. But what we're seeing today is people on social media already starting to be teasing out that maybe Liverpool, if they miss out in the Champions League, won't have funds to go out there and do the full rebuild that Jurgen Klopp wants and deserves. But why haven't we got Champions League football next season? Potentially because of the lack of investment. Because not only did they go through a summer window where they didn't bring in midfielders, they went through a winter window where they didn't bring in midfielders. And then they have the cheek to use the lack of Champions League football potentially as an excuse. It's disgusting, and I don't know how anybody is still on board with FSG at this point because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Like this one particularly annoys me because it pulls on the heartstrings, right? Now, I'm not trying to put FSG up there with the Glazers or anything like that. They're far from those type of owners. They've been decent owners, but we know that they've reached their ceiling point. They can't really push us on anymore. They refuse to invest their own money into the team. And they keep going on about this model that we have that, you know, we spend everything that we bring in, yada, yada, yada. But that's not going to cut it anymore, John. That's not going to cut it these days when you've got Chelsea dropping 600 million in a transfer window, where you've got Manchester City with the ability to go out and buy who they want. Manchester United now, potentially already one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in the world, about to have unlimited funds by the looks of it. How does he think this is going to play out? If you add into Newcastle, of course, who are pushing to get into the Champions League, Spurs, who are pushing in the right direction, albeit going a little bit Spursy at the minute, I don't get the thinking here. Like, what is it going to take for John W. Henry to actually disappear along with FSG? Surely it's going to have to take the value of the club taking pretty serious hit, and with the way television revenues and media business, I guess, because there's a lot of different avenues that are going to be opened up over the next few years with regards to media rights, broadcasting, ways of fleecing fans for more money, basically, is where I'm trying to go with that. And it seems like they're just hanging around because, again, I've said this many times, they feel like there's still a few pounds to be rinsed out of this football club. Because apparently, somebody offering them 3.5 billion, that wouldn't be enough for the 300 million that they bought the club for. No, John wants to hang on and rinse every cent out of us. I don't know where to go anymore. I don't know. I'm finding it hard to not say exactly how I feel. Because if I say exactly how I feel, well, I'm going to be kicked off YouTube for a start. Because it won't be very nice with the language that I use. But even if you don't want to take my word for it, listen to what Martin Broughton, former chairman of the club, former Chelsea chairman as well, and was involved in a consortium that tried to buy Chelsea in the summer, obviously lost out to Todd Bowley. He said, I spoke to Tom Werner and asked him, were they seeking to sell? I said, as in Martin Broughton said, were they seeking investment and what was the object? He said, there isn't one. We're just testing the water. If there's an offer that is a very high figure, then we'd be daft not to look at it. He said if there's an investor that wants to come, we'd certainly be willing to look at that, and we wouldn't be at all surprised if we didn't get either and we continue to hold it. We're comfortable with that too. It's okay FSG and John W. Henry and Tom Werner and the likes being comfortable with it, because what they're seeing is the money that they've invested go up and up and up and up. But what we're seeing, the fans, imagine being a season ticket holder and hearing that no, we're fine, we'll sit on it, we don't mind. Club's gone up in value. What the fuck do we care? We don't care. We'll sell when we want to sell. And we still think there's pound notes to be made. Anyway, Martin said they've been here 13 years now and they saw the Chelsea deal, and I think they certainly realised the prices were maybe higher than they had in their mind. That increase in value they had during that time. So they said, why don't we test the market? Again, I take a lot of frustration from this, because if Martin Broughton is saying they've seen since they bought the club 13 years ago what price Chelsea went for and what the market was, and yet the greedy SOBs still don't feel like 3.5 billion is going to be enough for them. And they've already, according to at Qatari, put them off by not refusing to sell over 49%. Now, if you've put a football club up for sale, and remember, football club being up for sale here, Liverpool being up for sale, was on the table. Why all of a sudden are you only offering 49%? The club's either for sale or it isn't. It wasn't to do with the price of the club in this. It was to do with not wanting to relinquish more than 51%, or to have 51% to control the club. Again, if what Qatari said is true. It gets really annoying. It gets really frustrating. Now, I'm not too upset about Qatar not buying Liverpool, because you know my stance on state-backed clubs. I don't like them. I don't like them in any way, shape or form. But I am annoyed very much so by the idea that somebody was willing to potentially buy the club, and that FSG, who have already put the club up for sale, aren't putting the club up for sale. It's more spin. Somebody somewhere is telling a lot of porkies, basically, is where I'm going with this. Martin Broughton went on to say, I would be astonished if they weren't concerned about the legacy they leave. I don't think they're people who will walk away having sold to the highest bidder. I think their heart is in Liverpool now. Their heart might be in it a little bit, Martin, but their wallets aren't in it at this moment in time. And, Martin, giving them the benefit of the doubt here, said, that they're concerned about legacy. Well, the legacy that they're leaving right now is a tarnished one, because they have had success. They have delivered a Premier League, a Champions League, Jurgen Klopp, and all the other stuff that you know about that I don't have to remind you. But right now, they're just sitting there while Rome burns. They're just sitting there and watching on from Boston while the football club falls further and further and further away from where we want to be, which is continuing to challenge for titles, being in the top tier of European football next season, and attracting the best players. And he said, and yes, it might make sense to exit at some stage, whether that is now or in 10 years' time. Everybody exits at some stage. But I think it is important to them that they're custodians and the role is passed to the right people. So I wonder, and again, I'm reading between the lines here, and I'm not trying to put words in somebody else's mouth, but I wonder if that last part that I spoke about, where Martin said, but I think it's important to them that they're custodians, that the role is passed to the right people. I wonder, is there a little bit of anti-Qatari going on here? I know that's a difficult question for me to pose, but if Qatar or somebody from Qatar, CIA, whoever, QIA, I don't know at this point, CIA, it's definitely not CIA, it's definitely not the Central Intelligence Agency, I'm 99% certain about that. But yeah, look, whoever it was from Qatar, QIA, QSI, whoever it was, if they wanted to buy the club and were told straight away, no, we're not selling anything over 49% maybe, so we can still control it. I wonder, is there a little bit of, yeah, we're not selling to you. I wonder. Again, I'm just putting it out there because something in all of this just doesn't feel right, doesn't sound right, and I'm very frustrated right now. So look, I want to know how you're feeling around the whole situation, because right now, we're staring in the barrel of not only FSG not selling the club, and some people won't be too upset by that, because some people are fine with FSG running the club. But we're also staring down the barrel potentially of not even getting that investment on board, which means, is the Tooth Fairy going to buy these midfielders in the summer? I don't know, but I'm really concerned about it. And I don't want to be negative, because I want to be speaking about the little improvements we've had on the pitch, the bright sparks of Van Dijk being back, how if we get a result at Newcastle, things could open up. I want to be positive about that. And from on the pitch stuff, I am. But behind the scenes stuff, I've had it up to here. Honestly, I don't even know what the end game is. So look, maybe you know, maybe this idiot can't figure it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.